What's going on YouTube? Today we got Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin. Final countdown. As you guys know, they got a scheduled fight June 15th, and let's see how they both looking like. Both undefeated fighters. Enough of the yapping. Let's get into it.
The world awaits with bated breath as Gervonta Tank Davis, a fighter everyone's dying to watch, gears up for a career-defining showdown. His opponent, a rising star, poised to become the next sensation in the ring. Last year, a couple of important boxing fights took place, but one was above others. That fight was Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. This fight ended a 5-year rivalry.
Yeah, I count this fight right here. Dehydrated, I believe he fought 135. Ryan Garcia's, I don't know.
Even Davis defeated Garcia, proving his strength is absolute in the ring. After some of the talented prospects moved up to the 140-pound weight class, it seemed like there were fewer interesting matchups left for Davis. However, a new challenger emerged in the lightweight division rankings. Frank Martin, an undefeated rising star. Originally set to fight Shakur Stevenson, Martin's plans...
What's this box right? Real quick, I gotta see that. Look this up real quick. I don't know too much about Frank Martin, to be honest. 18-0, 12 knockouts, southpaw.
Changed when circumstances led him to face Davis instead. This set the stage for an exciting clash between Davis, the WBA champion, and Martin, the main contender. A video countdown featuring Davis and Martin's journeys to this momentous occasion was created in advance of this much-anticipated battle. Davis, born in 1994 in a tough Baltimore neighborhood, had to fend for himself since he was a child. He began boxing during middle school, focusing intensely on training instead of waiting to finish school.
That's a hard picture right there, bro. Go to belts. These are real belts. These are no participation belts, I'm pretty sure.
His amateur career was highly successful, with numerous victories in club competitions, youth Olympics, and other tournaments. This impressive resume led Davis to go professional in 2013. Early in his career, Davis caught the attention of Floyd Mayweather during a sparring session, and after the amazing performance Mayweather predicted a bright future for him. Davis continued to develop under Mayweather's guidance, which eventually led to winning a belt in the super featherweight division. In today's boxing, Gervonta Davis became famous through his knockouts and his flashy style. Despite facing experienced fighters like Yuriokis Gamboa, Leo Santa Cruz, and Mario Barrios, Davis dominated them with his explosive skills. Unlike Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin took a longer time to decide on his career path. In his youth, Martin was involved in various sports, including football and wrestling, which he started around the 6th grade. After moving to Indiana, Martin and his brother discovered boxing, which instantly captured his attention. But despite starting boxing late, Martin's progress was tremendous and debuted professionally in 2017 with a knockout victory in the first round.
Out the ring is crazy.
He consistently fought 4 times a year in the super lightweight division.
You know what I noticed too? Like, a lot of high schoolers that play wrestling, once they graduate, they realize they probably don't got a career in the sport. They branch out to like other combat sport. Like, it's always boxing or MMA, but most likely it's always boxing.
Despite previously competing in wrestling at a higher weight class. Before the fight against Leo Santa Cruz, Martin sparred with Gervonta Davis, and after the spar, he praised Davis's skills. Martin noticed even then that Davis was sharp and quick, and made sure to remember Davis's exceptional speed and reflexes in the ring. While Martin transitioned to the lightweight division, Davis held 3 WBA titles across different weight classes. However, due to organizational regulations, Davis had to relinquish these titles, remaining the lightweight champion. Davis's scheduled opponent, Rolando Romero, withdrew from their fight, and Isaac Cruz stepped in as a replacement.
I want to see a rematch between these two right here. I think we can all agree that this little motherfucker right here was like the closest to ever beat Gervonta Davis.
Cruz being relatively unknown, Hear this intense
Hey, what's
pressure.
going on?
Isaac Cruz continued to press forward, landing punches effectively. It seemed
That's
Cruz
weird.
could pull off a major upset with his relentless pace. However, Davis adapted quickly, adjusting his strategy to break Cruz's defense with precise straight punches and jabs. Meanwhile, Frank Martin prepared for his upcoming fight against the well-known Filipino fighter Romero Duno. Duno, infamous for his brief match against Ryan Garcia, sought redemption after his quick
Damn.
defeat. Martin,
That boy is not on Earth anymore.
famous for his brief match against Ryan Garcia, sought redemption after his quick
Knocked him out to a
defeat.
different dimension.
Martin, showcasing superior speed and footwork, outclassed Duno with precise strikes, leaving him unable to land significant shots. Martin's tactical approach and effective counterattacks led to a knockout victory in the 4th round, making a successful start to his year. After quickly resolving his legal issues, Rolando Romero's confrontation with Gervonta Davis was rescheduled for May. Initially, Davis hesitated to accept the fight, not because he feared Romero's skills, but because Romero lacked experience against top opponents and feared this fight would not propel him forward in his
Thinking
career.
about Romero was
Mayweather's-
he's not really a bum. He just undeveloped. You know, he started at 19, 18, and he got in the ring with Gervonta Davis. He lost, got his ass knocked out, but
Involvement in arranging the
It's the
matchup
experience
further
that counts.
motivated Davis to take
Having that
control of his
resume.
career without Floyd's guidance. As the fight approached, Romero attempted to intimidate Davis with words, but once in the ring, Davis completely dominated him. Despite Romero's early aggression and landing punches, Davis seemed unfazed, allowing Romero to tire himself out before taking control of the fight. Davis displayed his superiority, dodging Romero's
Damn,
attacks
right
and
there.
delivering precise counters. In the 6th round, Romero attempted to retaliate aggressively,
so
but
lost.
Davis quickly countered with a devastating left, knocking Romero down.
damn.
Meanwhile, Frank Martin prepared for his upcoming fight, scheduled for July.
Hey, Santo Domingo. That's where I'm from.
Matchmakers aimed to gradually build Martin's career, matching him against tough but less skilled opponents like the Dominican fighter Jackson Martinez. Despite a rocky start in the 1st round, Martin adjusted his strategy, reading Martinez's movements
Damn.
and utilizing his precise jab effectively as the
Damn.
fight progressed.
Angles.
Another crucial aspect of Martin's strategy was his focus on body
Those
punches with his
southpaws, man.
rear hand. While Jackson Martinez tried to defend his head, Martin swiftly
Yeah,
targeted
this
the
is
solar
beautiful
plexus.
boxing right here.
While
Look at,
Jackson
look at his feet right here.
Martinez
He's always staying on the outside for that left Kalan. Like,
tried to defend his
he knows what he's doing.
head,
The whole time, just staying on the outside.
Martin swiftly targeted the solar plexus, landing several effective blows. As the fight progressed, Martinez struggled to defend against Martin's relentless assault, absorbing numerous punches and
Damn.
appearing increasingly disoriented. In the 9th round, Martin intensified his attack, cornering Martinez and scoring the first knockdown of the match. After the break, Martin continued to press his advantage and
Bro, they said
first
to stop the
knockdown
fight
of the
right
match,
there.
then
God
intensified
damn.
his attack, cornering Martinez and scoring the first
Oh, whoa, he was sitting down on the ropes.
knockdown of the match.
Look at that.
After the break, Martin continued to press his advantage, unleashing a flurry of punches and ultimately securing the victory by
The
knockout.
warrior, though.
With 2 consecutive knockout wins in 2022, Martin's career was on the rise. For his next challenge at the end of the year, Martin faced a formidable opponent in Michel Rivera, an undefeated
Shout out
knockout
Miami.
artist rapidly ascending the lightweight division ranks. Despite Rivera's aggressive tactics, Martin remained composed and elusive, consistently landing precise punches while
What? Oh my god, bro. This guy Martin's a dog.
evading the majority of Rivera's attacks.
I haven't
As the
seen
fight
too much of
progressed,
Martin.
Martin's dominance became increasingly evident, culminating in a knockdown in the 7th round. Although Rivera managed to recover and avoid further knockdowns, Martin maintained control until the end, securing a decisive victory with a
Beautiful
lockdown.
boxing, like I
Martin
said. Look at that. He's staying on the outside of his opponent's feet. But the thing is, what's interesting about this is that how would it affect with him going against another southpaw, you know? 'Cause all these opponents that I'm seeing so far, they're all the orthodox fighters.
control until the end,
Look at that. He's staying on the outside the whole time.
securing a decisive victory with a lopsided score of 118 to 109. Once the triumph was secured, Frank wasted no time in calling out all the top lightweights, including Gervonta Davis. Despite his repeated calls for a fight, the renowned boxers seemed to overlook him, focusing
Funny
instead
Floyd.
on their own matchups. However, Frank remained persistent in his pursuit of challenging the best in the division. Gervonta, on the other hand, was about to have the most important fight of his career so far. The highly anticipated bout between Davis and Ryan Garcia, fueled by years of rivalry, was set to take place on January 7th. Excitement was high among fans eager to witness the showdown. However, just as anticipation reached its peak, Garcia unexpectedly withdrew from the fight, leaving Davis without a formidable opponent. Instead, Davis faced Hector Garcia, the rising star from the super featherweight division. In the early rounds, Hector Garcia's strategic jab posed a challenge for Davis, who struggled to find his rhythm. However, as the fight progressed, Davis adapted, increasing his speed and pressure, landing powerful punches and unexpected hooks. By the 8th round, Davis had gained momentum, delivering a series of clean power punches that left Hector Garcia struggling to defend himself. Sensing defeat looming, Hector Garcia wisely chose not to continue into the next round, conceding victory to Davis. With the path cleared for a matchup against Ryan Garcia, Davis faced an unexpected obstacle: legal issues stemming from past altercations. Despite false accusations of assault...
Bro, imagine trying to press Gervonta Davis like this. You're like a regular dude built like this. You trying to press Gervonta Davis.
Domestic violence. Davis found
Like,
himself
no
entangled
gloves,
in a
too.
serious legal
With just
case
bare
following a
knuckles.
car accident in 2020. With a court hearing scheduled for May 5th, Davis's future in the ring remained uncertain.
What?
With a court hearing scheduled for May 5th,
Baltimore City, come on, bro.
Davis's future
Are you even surprised? Police report Gervonta Davis driving
in the ring
his name out in public like this too is
remained
crazy.
uncertain. Nevertheless, he remained focused on the task at hand, determined to prove
I
himself
remember I
in the
seen
ring.
this fight live
When the
too.
bout finally commenced, both fighters
I was
engaged in
going
a
for
fierce
Davis,
exchange,
Davis,
with
obviously.
Ryan Garcia aggressively pressing forward. However, his overconfidence proved costly as Davis
remember watching this live and I was
commenced.
so confused
Both
as to
fighters
what really
engaged in a
happened. 'Cause I didn't
fierce
see that punch land.
with Ryan Garcia aggressively pressing
like the
forward.
left upper.
However, his overconfidence proved costly as Davis capitalized on his vulnerability, delivering a decisive blow that sent Garcia to the canvas. After the knockout between Gervonta and Ryan, all the other lightweight fighters found themselves in their shadows temporarily. However, life continued as usual. Frank, after a well-deserved rest following his victory, embarked on a new training camp. Though the top fighters remained out of reach for him, the prospects for his career seemed promising. Once again, Frank was matched with a newcomer, this time with Artem Harutyunyan, a
Oh.
German boxer originally from Armenia who boasted an impressive record of 12 wins and no losses. Despite his undefeated status, Artem was relatively unknown to the
12-1
wilder
now.
audience as he had only fought in local venues. The fight was intense from the start, with Frank taking an aggressive approach and landing several strikes with his lead hand. However, Artem soon retaliated, delivering impactful blows of his own. As the competitive early
Thanks,
rounds
Barnes,
progressed
for
into the middle of the
man.
fight, both fighters ramped up their intensity. In the later rounds, Frank increased his pressure, pinning Artem against the ropes and unleashing a barrage of hooks. However, Artem remained resilient, countering with body shots that posed a challenge for Frank. Despite Artem's strong performance, Frank refused to relent, pouring all his energy into the championship rounds. Frank's relentless pressure eventually paid off, leading to a knockdown of Artem. This crucial moment helped sway the judges in Frank's favor, securing him a close decision victory. Maintaining his undefeated record proved to be a difficult task, but Frank emerged victorious once again. In a post-fight interview, Frank expressed his readiness for bigger challenges and affirmed his commitment to continue working hard. Despite the obstacles he faced, Frank remained determined to pursue his goals in the boxing world. Gervonta disappeared from the media spotlight for a while, as he had to address some legal issues. Fortunately, everything was resolved without any serious consequences, and the WBA champion didn't end up in trouble with the law. Meanwhile, Frank was also doing well. A few months after his toughest fight, he received an interesting offer, a chance to compete for the vacant WBC belt against the young talent Shakur Stevenson. Surprisingly, Frank declined the opportunity to become a champion, making him the third boxer, after Lenko and Cruz, to turn down a fight against Shakur. After this,
Yeah, everybody's
Frank
looking for Shakur Stevenson, man. Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin.
didn't receive any new fight offers for a while. However, in 2024, talks about a confrontation between Frank and...
Let's see this. They're both 29 years old. He's 5'8". His reach is like only a half-inch. This is gonna get good. This is a good matchup right here. Both undefeated fighters, both hungry dogs.
Gervonta Davis surfaced. For a long time, it seemed like mere rumors. Despite Frank's undefeated record and undeniable talent, putting him directly against the division's main star without facing other top boxers seemed unlikely. But as life often does, it surprised everyone. And then it happened. The official announcement of the fight on June...
Who I got? Gervonta Davis and Mark Frankton. Damn.